I've been thinking for a few days now about how I might address this particular situation, because I know that if I'm going to make a video about it, it's going to end up not being understood the way I intended it by an awful lot of people who are just going to start harassing me about it. But it's still something that needs to be said. And today I got a perfect opportunity from the news to illustrate much better what I actually mean to say. But first of all, let's go back to the basics, the first thing that I want to discuss here, and that is what is currently going on in France, being the proposed ban on the wearing of the burqa. Now, I can certainly see where France is coming from, as they are considering this particular idea. But I have some problems with it. It's not that I don't see that the burqa is very much a symbol of the oppression of women in the Islamic world. I am not denying that, and I recognize that very, very clearly. But there is still a part of me that says, hang on a second. In principle, at the very least, people should be allowed to wear what they want to wear. If I want to go about looking like Mr. Baghead, then nobody should have the right to stop me from doing so, other than obvious situations in which I need to, for example, identify myself. But that aside, nobody has the right to tell me I cannot go about dressed like that. And similarly, why should it be any different for a woman who definitely devoutly wishes to dress herself in that regalia? I cannot see a good reason why that shouldn't be the case. But that doesn't mean that this particular piece of clothing isn't a symbol of oppression. It certainly is. And today, like I said, I got a very good example to illustrate where the line should be drawn. Because, you see, the thing is, with simply banning the burqa, you're not actually addressing the problem. You're not addressing the mindset, first of all, that leads to the oppression, and you're not addressing the oppression either. Because if you think that simply banning the wearing of the burqa is going to stop women from wearing the burqa in public, you'll be sadly mistaken. Because those women who truly are being oppressed will not end up not wearing the burqa in public. Those women will end up not appearing in public because they won't be let. The problem has not been solved. The problem has just very conveniently been swept under the carpet and can now be ignored. Or so some people think. So that is another good reason why a simple ban on wearing the burqa doesn't help. But like I said again, and this time I'm really going to get to the point, today I saw something in the news that pointed out, that showed me where the correct way of dealing with this problem really lies. And that's with a Muslim man who was refused citizenship in France. Why was he refused citizenship in France? Not because of his religion, not because he was a Muslim, no, because he was forcing his wife to wear the burqa. And that is where the line should be drawn. With his idea that he had the right to impose his will on his wife. And in that regard, he's sadly mistaken. Because France, as was pointed out in the article, very clearly is a secular, democratic, Western country in which every individual, without exception, is entitled to make their own decisions about how they're going to express their own identity, their religious belief, their religious identity, and whatnot. If that woman had decided that she wanted to wear the burqa in public, I would have had no problem with it. But if her husband thinks that he can force her to do so, then he's crossed the line, and the decision that France made to refuse this man citizenship is one that I can only applaud, because that is what people need to understand. When you live in our Western societies, the only person who has a right to dictate to you what you can think, what you can wear, what you can believe in, and how you can express yourself is you and nobody else.